Okay, thank you for attending our final coaching session for the year. This is Shakina McFarland. I am one of the 2 through 5 language arts coaches. And if you have joined me in person, I have actually had the other sessions face to face, but this one will be a whole lot shorter. What I will do is highlight some of the items for the remaining units, and then just a reminder, the PowerPoint and this Adobe Connect session will be made available on our project share page, and we'll send you that information as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We will discuss reading. We have 2 units that we will talk about. We have the Making Connections / test taking unit, as well as the drama unit that we will highlight. Okay, so for our Making Connections and test taking unit, it's broken down into 2 units. It's a total of 20 days. With this unit, the connecting, comparing, and contrasting books across the genres, the main thing that you need to know about this unit is the summary. This is where the students will construct their own summary. Previously, you touched upon summary in some of your lessons. They didn't actually write the different summaries because, as you know, it would take them the majority of their independent reading time. So now we feel that by the end of the year, this is one of the areas that they'll focus in on. And one of the things to note for the DPM is for them to be able to identify the summary for a fictional as well as an expository selection. That's something that they will need to know. And then with the summary, here are the different things, the CPR and the SWBST, which is included in your units of study. The next item is the test-taking strategies. What I like about this is its review. Most campuses this year took part in the checkpoints. So when you look at your test-taking strategies unit, what you will do is go through and pick out those different things that you know that your students need. It may look different from the class next door. You will go through, find the items based on your data that you know that your students need help in, and this is where you would do that. Because of the checkpoints, and if you have participated since the very beginning, a lot of the skills your students will already know. So yay, exciting, exciting. We like review. Okay, the next thing we will talk about is your drama unit. Love the drama unit. This is closer to the end of the school year. This is also the time when the kids are getting restless. They know it's summer is coming, school will soon end. There's so much that you can do with the drama unit. First of all, make sure that you have your resources available. Find something that's interesting. Find something that you could actually maybe put on a play for another grade level, another class, but make it exciting for the students at the end of the year. The drama unit was written in a way that encourages students to approach drama as a story first, and then as a play that can be performed. This unit will walk the students through the basics of the genre with an explanation of terminology, then a behind-the-scenes look at the setting and character development, and finally how to perform the play, which is the part they will absolutely love. Some of the resources are provided, but please be sure to pre-read everything prior to sharing it with your students. And you may want to have both plays and readers' theaters available for students to read. Many of the resources are from free online sites, and they would definitely require you to make sure everything is appropriate. We have listed some of the resources here, Reading A to Z. I know some campuses are very familiar with this. And then there's also some other different ones that you can explore prior to the unit. And if you know of any great resources that you've used in your classroom, this is a great time to type it in the chat box so that we can share with other people. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to a minute to kind of think of a resource that you could possibly have. And if so, please share it in the chat box, and I'll be back in less than a minute. Okay, thank you, Kelly and Teresa, for giving us your feedback. And then I also see Stephanie is typing something in, so please look in the chat box for their ideas. I'm going to go ahead while they're typing. I will go to the next slide. Here is a look at your drama mini lessons. And what I did was, in purple, these are some items that will be relatively new to your second graders. The characteristics of drama, talking about the difference between drama and reader's theater, the different terminology, the layout of a drama, and then the setting of drama as well as the setting of a reader's theater. I put those in purple because, like I said, those are fairly new. And if you take a look at lessons 8 through 15, identifying the characters. Your students have talked about characters all year long. The only difference is now they're talking about characters and their role in a drama. Determining the problem. This is something that's also familiar to them. We're only using a different genre. Determining the resolution, talking about the characters. When we get to reading with expression and fluency, you have been doing this all year long. And then the last two, reading your drama as a group, and then of course your celebration. So when I take a look at this as a teacher, I can look at these items and know, okay, for the first 7, it may be a little more difficult. Maybe they haven't seen this information before, but once we get to lesson 8 and beyond, tie it all together, make those connections from those previous genres that were taught through the school year. The next thing, the play genre vocabulary. This is included in your drama units of study in lesson 3 and 4. With the vocabulary, there's some different words that you will introduce to your students. Title, which once again you can link back to the other genre. We have playwright, scene, script, act, stage directions, stage, and play. I think that's the last one. Yes. I would really focus in on some of the vocabulary because this will show up again on your drama checkpoint. The drama checkpoint will be the last checkpoint of the year if your school decides to use the checkpoint at the end. So those are some areas I would really pay a close attention to, is the terminology of the vocabulary. Okay, we're going to move right along to the writing. With the writing, we will talk about the prompt-based narrative and book review. With the prompt-based narrative, the main thing is having your students write to a prompt. As you go through the different mini lessons, you can see some of the different things that are highlighted. We see 6 traits. That's something you have worked with from the beginning of the school year. Connecting the life experiences with expert topics, and focused on the prompt, making sure that students are staying focused on the prompt, not going off topic. We see first draft. It's things that they've done for the whole entire year. With the plan, they're pre-writing, revising, and then when they're doing on-the-spot editing. So the main thing to take away for the prompt-based mini lesson is that the student is focused on the one topic at hand. And I know sometimes that can be difficult, but giving them those different examples from books or selections, as well as bringing in your own writing and letting them see how you wrote to the prompt, and also giving them some of the examples where it's not written to the prompt, and then those would be great discussion points. And that's also, a lot of those examples are included in the actual unit. And take a note, this is 11 days, and this will also help prepare them for the end of the year DPM. Okay, we're just going to move right along. The next thing we're going to look at are the book reviews, or the persuasive writing. The purpose is to connect the student's reading life with their writing life. There's some different examples that you see at the bottom of the screen where you can go and see some of the different book reviews. I would also bring in some different examples, maybe show them some examples on Amazon. I know I'm an online shopper. I like looking at the reviews first, so you can show them some of those real life connections and how it's important and how it's used with different things like online things as far as Amazon and whatever else that you can think of. But go to the different sites, the bookhive.org, Spaghetti Book Club, and also thekidsread.com. This unit is approximately 16 days, and you can have a lot of fun with this one. Some of the different book trailers that you can show the students. You can have the students record their book reviews that you can play or share with your class. You could find something that you can put together, maybe a book that you can send home over the summer for the students, and they can go back and look at some of those book reviews, and throughout the summer, maybe if they have the opportunity to go online and read some of the text, or if they have a library card, they could look back through that class book review book and use it as a guide. Any other ideas for book reviews, please type it in the chat box, or if you have any comments to share about the unit, any questions, just type it in the chat box for everyone to see. Okay, now we're going to go to the things to remember. I told you this would be very quick, or maybe I didn't tell you that, but here's some different things to remember. Even though we're at the end of the year, it's April, by the time you get to some of these units, it's May, small group instruction is still important. Make sure that you continue to pull your students for the guided reading, the different strategy groups, for the direct reading and writing instruction. That should not stop. If for some reason you did not do a great job earlier this year, here's a great time to start. Make sure that you're pulling those groups, because this is only going to get them prepared for next year. So you're using that time to help them prepare, help finish up the school year, but make sure that you are pulling your small groups. It also helps with your classroom management. Yes, it does. It lets the students know that even though the calendar, it's getting closer to the end of the school year, instruction is still happening in the classroom. So we want to make sure we still have those routines and procedures in place. Oh, I think I had a slide out of place, but we'll go ahead and talk about the summer DTE. This is for August the 15th, 2014, so that you can have that day. What we will offer in the summer, for those of you that took Cafe last year, we have Cafe 2. This is a session where it kind of builds upon, maybe you tried it out this year, now what? Maybe you stepped into it a little bit, so now what do I do? So it's more of an advanced class. We will also offer several Cafe 1 classes in case you did not get to take that course. We have a new Words Their Way. This is also kind of a step up from Words Their Way. If you have been doing Words Their Way in the past, this one we're very excited about because it's a make and take. We have some things planned, so when you go to the session, you will be able to walk away with lessons and items and games that you can take directly into your classroom. So we're very excited about that one. We also have a strategy group one that will be brand new. We're taking some of the ideas that we did for 4th grade training that was held during the school year, but it will be completely new theme, new idea, and as you see in the pink, it's make and take. If you know me, you know that I love make and takes, and once again, these are some things that you'll be able to take directly to your classroom and use, ready to go. We also will offer a class on using the new editing invitations. So maybe you use them this year, but you're not quite sure how to maximize that time, or you want to make sure that you just get a few more ideas. We have that we're going to offer. We have another one that will be geared for it's organizing balanced literacy. That one is still in the works. Right now we're trying to get one of our model teachers or two to kind of help us work through the day. How do you fit it all in? Because that's one of the questions that we get all the time. We have all these wonderful activities. We have this schedule. How do you fit it all in? And we're going to tap into their brains and work with them to come up with a very useful session for organizing your balanced literacy. Also, children's literature. This is also another one of my favorites. This one we have a couple librarians, and who wouldn't want to take this course? This is all about literature. As a teacher, you want to know what's out there, what's new. So make sure you keep that in mind. Good question, Stephanie. You asked, do you know when the teachers should look for this information? The goal is to have it out by the end of this week. I tried to have it out last week. We are still looking for a place to have some of the sessions because for some reason the summer is very popular. But what we will do is at least send out the course assignment so you can go ahead and sign up, and even if we don't know the locations, we'll just make a note of that on the chart. So the goal is to have it out by the end of this week. The other two things I don't have listed on this slide, we have a 4-day kind of our own homegrown reading workshop that is very popular, and the teachers who went to it last year absolutely loved it. And then we also have the 4-day writing training that will also be offered. And right now I think both of those will be in June. So be on the lookout for that. Oh, and these are the dates you should write down. The DT sessions will be offered June 23rd and 24th. All of them are half-day sessions. And then also July 29th and 30th. And this is for the August 15th date. So make a note. Get your hours out of the way in the summer, because you know August the 15th you want to focus on doing those last minute things in your classroom, or those last minute errands that you have to do before school starts. And this one I want to make sure, Words Their Way. This is a great time, even though we're nearing the end of the year. Continue to grow with Words Their Way. I know we're all at different levels, different places. Use the time at the end of the year to really grow with Words Their Way. Work as a team. Partner up. If they have some great things going on in their classroom, then buddy up. If they're doing something that you would like to see, find a way that you can watch them in action. Work as a team to get some of those sorts ready to go. Lots of great things that you can do at the end of the year. Practice the different types of activities. I know at the very beginning of the year we have so much going on. This is a great time to try out some of those activities. Perfect your routine, because I know once again it comes up, I don't have time. How do you fit it all in? End of the year, great time to perfect those routines. And then last but not least, organize for next year. Go ahead and start making notes of the things that work with Words Their Way. What can you do differently? And like I mentioned before, if it's one of those things that you just need a refresher, or you're looking for some new ideas, don't forget to sign up for the course that will be offered this summer as a DTE session. And then we've talked about the end. You are getting students ready for 3rd grade. You are also getting them ready for your end of the year DPM. Just like before, you will have the comprehension part as well as the revising and editing. The comprehension will have 25 questions. It will be over 2 days. They will take 2 selections the first day and 2 selections the next day. The types of questions vary similar to what they've seen in the past. They have the vocabulary. Of course, we have several inference questions. I mentioned before the fiction and expository summary. So make sure once you're doing your making connections across genres, and make sure that they know how to apply that skill. Text features, media literacy, story elements, and questions about characters. So make sure that once you hit that drama unit that you are focusing on the characters and just kind of making sure that they remember those things. We have revising and editing with 12 questions, and you will receive a document for the 2nd grade revising and editing expectations. Keep rocking and rolling with I think on most Fridays I try to send them out, your editing invitations. We had some new ones that were developed, and then in between there, the fillers, those are kept on iExplore. under the language unit for under conventions, I believe. So make sure you continue with that, and it should be very familiar with the students. I know after visiting several campuses, the information that we sent out previously, it really helped the students, and I feel that they will be successful at the end of the year. Just keep pushing on with those revising and editing invitations, and they should do great. Okay, we had another question. Would it be possible for the district to purchase Spelling City? It never hurts to ask. I will ask the powers that be that question. If not, that's one of the things, of course, that you will have to also ask your principal. But I will ask and let you know at Berks if that is possible. If you have any more questions, please type them in, and you can always email me. Once again, my name is Shakina McFarland. Email me at any time, any questions, and I will do my best to help you with anything that I can. It is 4:29, and this will conclude our session. I will wait around a few more minutes if you have questions. If not, please feel free to email me. Thank you.